Since I became so interested in the mining industry of New England, I decided to see what other minerals were mined here commercially in our past. Let's visit one of Cape Ann's former granite quarries. While walking into Halibut Point Park, one immediately sees discarded blocks of granite along both sides of the pathway. There's really a lot of it here. Before visiting the quarry, there is another structure of this former farm that is worth visiting. It's a World War II enemy ship and plane watchtower. It's the only such watchtower where the public is invited to visit. This tower was part of the Northern Defense System for Boston, with similar facilities located in Rye, New Hampshire, and Nahant, Massachusetts. When an enemy craft was spotted, such as a surfaced submarine, bearings to it were measured from a pair of these towers. From this triangulation, measurements were taken to plot the position of the target. These measurements were sent to gun emplacements in Nahant to destroy the target. This location affords a panoramic view of the coast from Cape Ann to Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And although no enemy vessels were detected by it, local fishermen tell of a few sightings. Cape Ann, Massachusetts, particularly the areas around Rockport, West Gloucester, and Pigeon Cove, gave rise to a very successful granite mining industry. The 450 million-year-old granite was exhumed from the earth dating back to about the year 1800. For a time in the 19th century, the granite business even superseded Gloucester's famous fishing industry. Over the years, the Babson Farm Quarry and the other Cape Ann quarries have filled up with water. The water is both rainwater and spring-fed. When I was a kid, we used to bathe and swim in a West Gloucester site, but that is no longer allowed. Many of the quarries had grown in with vegetation and are hardly recognizable today. Most of the work done in the quarries was very labor-intensive. Before 1850, the labor is mined by hand drills and teams of oxen. After that date, they used steam engines, pumps, and derricks. The Scientific American magazine, dated November 16, 1878, explained how the granite was cut. I quote, "The splitting of the granite is easily accomplished. With hand drills and hammers, the workmen cut lines of holes an inch in diameter, from 3 to 6 inches deep, and from 2 to 6 inches apart, according to the size of the block. Into these holes are inserted half-round slips of iron, a pair to each hole. Then steel wedges are driven between the irons so as to exert a uniform and steady pressure, which gradually increases until the great mass yields and splits apart." Between the quarry and the edge of the water, there is a magnificent overlook from which the visitor is afforded a spectacular view of the Atlantic Ocean from Cape Ann to Portsmouth.